Live from Houston, Texas, and around the world. It's time to get your champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. Now, can you dig that?
Boom! Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer, dog. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me as well. Getting ready to do this thing. I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame, getting champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. You know, how you feel, man? How you feel?
Book, I feel great. I feel like it's been too long since we got to chop it up on the Hall of Fame. I know last week, travel and things, government shutdowns prevent us from, our travel schedules were crazy, but we're back. We had an incredible Reality of Wrestling Platinum for everybody who checked that out last week. Sold out. I'm still getting text messages from it almost a week later. People are talking about it. So it was great. It's great to be back with you, Book.
People gonna talk about it, man. People gonna talk about it. I'm coming off of NXT last night, man, and it was a monster, man. That main event matchup with Trick Williams and Ricky Saints, last man standing match. Those guys went out there and man, they beat each other up, bro. The end of that thing, Ricky Saints looked like he had been in a real fight. I mean, Trick looked like he had been just, battered, bruised, and torn, man. But and just sitting, having a chance to sit there at ringside, at the desk and watch it up close and personal, man. I don't remember doing any of that.
What do you mean?
No, I'm talking about going through the barriers and going through the tables as much.
Yeah.
Those guys do that on a regular basis, man, on a weekly basis, and I don't remember doing a whole lot of that. I mean, I did it, of course. I remember going through the table, with Big Show, of course. I remember coming off the top rope, doing scissor kick, whatnot. But it was a rare occasion, but to see someone do it, and it's not yourself, it's totally different. It's totally different, man. Those guys definitely put their bodies on the line, and much respect to the young talent going out there and doing it like that.
Let me ask you this. When's the last time you watched some of your old stuff? The reason I say this is because, every now and then in the algorithm, Booker T clips will pop up in my feed, right? And I'll see some old match or whatever. And man, every time you do the Harlem sidekick, it would shock me how high you would get. And I guess it's because the guys were taller back then. You had to get up there, right? But you would get so high on that thing, man.
I'll tell you what, that was one of my favorite moves, actually. And the reason why it was originated from when me and my brother used to do it. My brother used to hold a guy up even higher. And I would jump up and actually kick the guy over my brother's head. I would go all the way over his head, boom, and whack the guy. And it was just like, wow, But I had hops, man, back in the day, man. I had hops, especially before I tore my PCL, and that was way before I ever got to WCW. So I can only imagine how high I could have jumped if I wouldn't have had a torn PCL my whole wrestling career.
Well, I know that you didn't play organized sports in school, but I'm sure you played some pickup games.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love going to the park and playing with the boys. You know what I mean? But I wasn't, formally trained or anything like that. What I could do on the court, I pretty much picked up on my own. But I could dunk the ball. I used to play ball with this guy named his name was Kevin, and he taught me a whole lot in this apartment complex I used to stay at. Man, he taught me a whole lot about basketball because he was really, really good. And that's when I first started dunking the ball. And I was like, wow, I could actually, but I never, got a chance to play any organized sports or anything like that. But I remember going to the park and this one guy named Melvin. And you could tell Melvin had some real basketball experience.
He was that guy.
And he was like 6'8", 6'9". I didn't want to play with him. You know what I'm saying? That's when I realized. I'm like, man, basketball it's a pretty hard game. Even playing pickup with somebody like Melvin, it was a rough day.
If you play pickup full court, you realize how much endurance it takes to be a basketball player, running up and down the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, golly, I can only imagine. But I was gonna say something. So, and I know we're gonna talk a lot about Cena in the weeks to come. But you remember a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two ago on the show, I was like, who'd be the perfect last opponent for John Cena? I said it'd be Obafemi. Let Oba, what better way to launch him? Either do that or put him in the Rumble, something like that. And now that John Cena has won the Intercontinental Championship, and there's this tournament to declare who's going to, get his last match at Saturday night's main event, December the 13th, in Washington, D.C. I would put $100 on it being Obafemi. I'm feeling very confident about this call. I think that it's the right way to go. I think it's going to happen. What don't you feel like that's the best thing that Cena can do? Like you and your brother's last match.
I don't know. I mean,
was putting over another team.
Obafemi made his return back to NXT last night.
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw that.
I did.
And I don't know. Obafemi seemed like he's back for one more run, at the NXT Championship. And I'm wondering, I mean, if he does go against Ricky Saints, I don't think that they brought him back. I don't like booking the show. I don't think.
I know you don't.
I don't think they brought him back to lose or anything like that. But if he is the next in line for that championship with Ricky Saints, you know what I mean, as far as that being the next guy in line, number one contender. I don't know. I don't see the John Cena thing working out. You know what I mean? The timing is not right.
It's going to be interesting to see who actually gets that spot.
Yeah, I saw Javon Evans. He got a spot.
Javon Evans is in there.
In there as well, So I don't know. I don't know who it's going to be. If it is someone like Obafemi, I'm definitely going to be excited. For someone like Oba. Yeah, because there again, a match like that could, boom. The passing of the torch. That's one thing. Then again, I don't want to book the show.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you think of the idea of the tournament? The tournament to declare John Cena's last opponent. It's kind of a genius idea, in my opinion. People online didn't seem to like the idea, but I thought, what a great way to build television, build the match, give people an opportunity. And I thought this was such a great idea.
You know what? This might be something that's going to be normal for guys when they get ready to leave. That's the way I see it. I mean, this is a great idea. The way I see it. I mean, having these young guys vie for that position, and then one of those young guys do get that position and then rise up at the same time. John Cena, it's always been John Cena doing the right thing, but it's always been this business as far as, guys, passing the torch on the way out. Guys, are they going to do the right thing? I think, what John Cena has done on his way out, man, it's just been remarkable. It really has been. I wish I could have gone out like this. I'm serious, and I'm not lying. I wasn't even thinking about, a retirement tour or anything like that. You know what I mean? I was just let me wrap this thing up. I'm serious, but nah, man, I think it's genius what John Cena's doing and what the company's doing with John Cena.
I think it's the best retirement phase in wrestling history. I think the one that was a runner-up to it was Rick. If you remember Rick leading up to that match with Shawn at WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, if Rick lost a match, that would be his last match. So every match that he had a little extra on it. And I thought that was a great concept. But this one is just, to me, like, this is the best way that somebody like John Cena can go out. And then he won the Intercontinental Championship on Monday night. He beat Dom. What do you think of that?
You know what? I just think it's really, really good TV. It's really, because people wondering what's going to happen with Dom. I don't think people need to worry about what's going to happen with Dominic Mysterio. This guy's on a trajectory like I've never seen before in this business. I'm serious. Dominic Mysterio, the way he has taken that role, taken that mantle and run with it. And Dominic is kind of like, I wouldn't say kind of like, Dominic is in his own lane. Nobody else can do what he does. Nobody can do what he does.
I agree.
So he's gonna be good as far as John Cena winning it to set up this retirement tour. It's perfect. It's perfect. You know what I mean? Because somebody's gonna get that shot, and there again, person's gonna have a chance to walk in and perhaps walk out the new champion and beating John Cena. The story is just too good. It's too good.
It's too good, man. Like it has so much going into that. And I hear all the luminaries are going to be there in Washington, D.C. for John Cena's final match. They're saying the president's going to pull up to see John Cena. I'm just saying, like, people are excited to see what the man they call the greatest of all time is going to do. And I think that's more than a marketing tool. I think John, he's earned the right for people to refer to him like that. He might not be your GOAT personally, but you have to admit that he is a GOAT.
You know what? I don't know, how people, rank, the GOATs and whatnot. But what John Cena has done for this business in the ring and out of the ring, it's been GOAT status.
Yeah.
Literally the time on the road, the time, pounding the miles and miles and miles, you know what I mean? Talking about that bump card, come on, I think John Cena has had the career that anyone getting in this business should admire and want to, emulate and be like John Cena one day, you know what I mean? Because he's had a hell of a career. And I've said before, I know we got to take a break. I've said before, and a lot of people took it the wrong way, you know what I mean? But not John, he didn't take it the wrong way. I said, John Cena wasn't the best wrestler in the world. He wasn't the most talented guy in the ring or anything like that. The guy was so smart. The guy could go out there and really make you feel something in the middle of that ring. And that's that effect to where, it's like the wind. You can feel it, but you can't touch it, but you know it's there. That's John Cena. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
All right, guys. Brad Gilmore here from the Hall of Fame, here to keep it 100. Some men walk into a room like regular dudes, but when you've got Blue Chew in your corner, you walk in like it's a main event. I'm talking pyro, lights, smoke machines, a Titantron package, and your theme music blasting. Because Blue Chew just isn't a tablet, it's a cheat code for your crotch. Stronger, harder, longer lasting. Like somebody handed your downstairs a gym membership, a hype man, and a Hall of Fame ring all in one.
And let me tell you something right now, man. This ain't just about sex. This is about legacy. This is about making sure your third legacy gets remembered. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex, shipped straight to your door, man, in a discreet package. You don't need to go to the doctor's office, man. You don't need to stand in line at a pharmacy. Just come ready to go.
Look, last time I tried one of Blue Chew's tablets, my hog got so confident it demanded its own Instagram account. It told me Missionary was off-brand and it was only doing extreme positions. I tried Blue Chew and suddenly my hog had a zip code, a driver's license, and voting rights. That's not just performance, that's a lifestyle.
Dog, for me, it felt like my parents were cutting promos on me, saying, we can't hold this man anymore. Somebody call security. It was like my entire lower half turned into a tag team championship, man. And my brother, sometimes it's not even about the action. It's about walking into the room knowing you're holding a steel chair under the table, man, ready to go whenever the bell rings.
Look, this just isn't a supplement. It's an erection resurrection. And the truth is, it's not about what happens in the bedroom. It's about knowing that you're that guy. You want to give her group chat something to talk about? You want to hear your name come up at brunch? Lay it down with Blue Chew's help. And believe me, they'll be talking about how it gets up.
And that's real talk, guys. You only get one career, one championship run, and one chance to etch your name in the history books. Don't leave your legacy to chance. Step into the ring with Blue Chew and become a legend.
And we've got a special deal for our listeners. As always, you get your first month of Blue Chew free. Just use promo code BOOKER at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Use promo code BOOKER, BOOKER, and head to BlueChew.com for details and safety information.
Want to thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, man. Again, I want to thank everybody for stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Hey, guys, if you guys got anything controversial you want to talk about.
What, you just can't take a couple weeks off and just enjoy the peace.
Oh,
and
man,
the
I gotta break the internet, man. People want to hear what I gotta say, man, about the controversial topics. You know what I mean? The hot takes. You know, people want to people want to know about that kind of stuff, man. Seriously. But
Well, you know what? What do you think? Well, I just want to get a few reactions before we get into anything controversial.
controversial.
Jade Cargill,
Oh.
women's champion, WWE women's champion.
What can people say now? What can people say now? What are you going to say now? I said Jade Cargill was going to be a major, big time superstar. I said she was going to, break all records. She's doing that pretty much right now as we speak. And now she's the champ. All right, now she's the champ. Well, what are people going to say now? What are people going to say now? How do you just put the title on or whatever? People are always going to have something to say. But my thing is this. This is just the beginning of the rise of Jade Cargill. She's a star. She's a mega star. She's a superstar. She's everything that WWE is. I'm serious. World Wrestling Entertainment. That's Jade Cargill. So my thing is, congratulations. It's my first time getting a chance to say it publicly. I already told her, privately, congratulations. But congratulations to Jade Cargill. And now it's just onward and upward. It's still, but the thing is, this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning for her, and the learning curve is still going to be there. It's still going to be so much more learn. But that's one thing about this business. If you're smart, you never stop learning. You really don't. So for someone like Jade, I give her so much praise, for going out there, listening to the naysayers too. So many doubters, man. So many haters. People ain't got nothing to do but go on social media and down somebody else. You know what I mean? But I'm just glad that she was able to rise above all that and look at her now. She's a champ. Oh yeah, baby.
The storm has come and it has arrived in WWE. I want to give a big shout out to Jade as well. I sent her a message, congratulating her, but I want to say it publicly too, because to me, to have people, and I don't know if she felt like this, but I felt like there were people actively rooting against her, actively rooting against her.
You know what, though? You know what, though? Can I add on to that, though?
Yeah.
I think it was just a certain group of people that was, looking for her to fail. That's all. I don't think it was the majority. I don't think it was the WWE Universe or anything like that. But I do think it was with this what do we call it? As far as this war that's going on, kind of.
Like the tribalism.
It's tribalism. Yeah, I think that's what it is more than anything. People would love to see Jade Cargill fail just for that one reason. Yeah,
and it's probably people from the AEW contingent online or whatever it is. Like, you left. How dare you? Now, what was funny though is there was a photograph that was posted on social media after Saturday night's main event, because CM Punk is also the new world's heavyweight champion. Congratulations, CM Punk. Never thought in 2025 in WWE, CM Punk would be the world's champion and John Cena would be an intercontinental champion at the same time. It's crazy. But the picture I'm referring to is Ricky Saints, CM Punk, Jade Cargill, and Cody Rhodes, all the top champions in the company, all previously had a stint with All Elite Wrestling.
Another guy who should have been in that photo, right?
Who?
Ethan Page.
Oh, the work he and Chelsea is doing right now, by the way.
Ethan Page should have been in that photo as well, because he's a guy that he's done. And I said how good of an idea it was. I said it was a great pickup. I said Ethan Page was one of the best pickups NXT could have gotten, just because we had lost a lot of good talent at that, but the Ilya Dragunovs, the Carmelo Hayes, we lost a lot of talent, when he came in. He fit that role perfectly, man. He literally filled that hole. And me personally, I did not know how good Ethan Page really was. But this guy, he's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. He can perform at a very, very high level. He's very, very believable. His shtick is very well. His acting is really, really good. He literally checks off he checks off every box. Ethan Page does. And then Ricky Saints, he's another guy who, was over there and nothing was really done with him. And Ricky Saints is a guy, he was a guy who had a little bit of momentum over there, but it seemed like it
And then he sat for a year.
Yeah, exactly. Seemed like it just fizzled out and nothing really happened for him. But this is a guy, because people was actually at that point in time, they was comparing him to The Rock. You remember that?
Yes.
This guy got rocked. You know?
He didn't do himself a lot of favors either. You know, with the haircut and the shirts, like it was an easy call.
Well, but Rock like charisma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a guy that's in this business, you want that, right?
Hell yeah.
You want that, you know, that comparison, you know what I mean, with The Rock. So me personally, I thought Ricky Saints was a guy who had something, but then coming over here, excuse me, coming over to NXT, here, like his mind.
Coming here.
Yeah, coming to NXT, this guy has proved to me he's a real worker. He's a real performer, and he knows what the business is truly all about. So a guy like that, man, I can use him on my team on a regular basis. So I give all those guys a hell of a lot of credit, man. So yeah, big ups.
Yeah, big ups to the former AEW stars who are now top stars in the WWE. And I don't want to say it because I think I've belabored the point probably too much.
Go ahead and
But
say
I'm
it.
just saying it's just so parallel
Say it.
to what happened 20 years ago or 25 years ago. It's so similar.
It is,
where
man.
like older stars are going one place and the younger stars who aren't being utilized as much are jumping to the WWE and becoming the next generation at a high level. It's so interesting. It's just almost the same story.
Yeah. You remember Stone Cold Steve Austin and guys like The Undertaker, you know, the Mick Foley's. All those guys would jump ship and went to WWE.
Jean-Paul Levesque.
They all became major big stars, man. You know, so no, man, it is a parallel. It is a similarity between the two eras. You know, as far as that goes, I see it. I mean, because I got a chance to experience both of them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I mean, but it's so obvious. Man, you know what though? I know AEW was just here in town in Houston over the last week, and I heard that they actually did pretty well.
You know what? I heard they did pretty well as well, but you know, don't try to fudge the numbers. You know what I mean? Don't lie about the numbers. You know what I mean? Because I was reading that AEW said they sold out the venue and they sold 1,300 tickets, and the venue hold like over 4,000 people. All right, now if they just shut it down and put out 1,300 tickets, okay, that's a sellout. I guess, but don't say you sold the arena out when you really did. That's not a good look.
We did sell out the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena on
Damn right,
Saturday as Collision.
Yeah, right.
About 550 people, but still, think about that for a second. You know what I mean? Just think about that.
No, look here. Walker Texas Lawyer Arena was banging. I want to give a big shout out to the Road Nation because they came out there and they showed up and showed out. We had competition in the city that night, and the guys, the talent went out there and showed up and showed out, almost to the point to where it got chaotic. All right, let's just say that it almost popped off inside the Walker Texas Lawyer Arena. You know what I mean? We had to pull some back, you know what I mean, just a little bit because it was getting real rowdy bowdy in that mug. But now, man, I always wanted to use that word, rowdy bowdy. But now, man, we had a good time, and I want to thank everybody for showing up and showing out. Football.
Yeah, no, and it was great. It was a crazy show. Crazy show. If y'all missed that, you'll see it obviously coming soon to the Reality Wrestling YouTube channel, which is marching towards that 900,000 subscriber mark. So we appreciate
so close.
Everybody. We're trying to get there, before the end of the year. I say let's try to get there for the end of the year. You know what I mean? That's a big goal.
We need people, man. We need the people. You know what? I gotta say something. I'm gonna have to say something.
Say it.
So we can go viral.
Say it.
You know what I mean? I can't say it right now. I don't know what it is. I gotta figure out what I gotta figure out what I'm gonna say where it go viral, and then every hagorism kick in, and everybody just I got to do something.
Think of someone who you don't hate, and in the next segment we can just say that you hate them, and they won't even listen to this part. They'll just go ahead and click. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that in the next segment. Just think of someone during the break
Corey
and then
Graves,
we'll
like
just
the Corey
go
Graves,
viral
like the Corey Graves. All right,
like you did to Corey. Think of someone else, that you can really just attack.
All right, say something about his mama. That's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
no, wait, hold on now. Hold on now.
Hey man, we got to take a break. Stick around, you know, all of it. We'll be back in a minute. Hey y'all, Booker T here alongside with my main man Brad Gilmore, and today we're talking about something that could really change the game when it comes to how you get paid.
That's right, Booker, because let's face it, life doesn't just happen every 2 weeks. So why wait for a payday? With Earn In, the money you've earned already can be in your hands today.
Earn In is this incredible app that lets you access your pay as you earn it. We're talking about up to $100 per day and up to $750 each pay period.
All you got to do is download the Earn In app, verify your paycheck, and boom, you can access up to $100 a day as you work. And the cool part, you just leave an optional tip, and any money you access plus the tip gets repaid when your next paycheck rolls in.
You know, Brad, I'm always talking about staying ready so you don't have to get ready, right? Imagine having that extra cash for that surprise date night, or maybe when you have to take the furry little friend to the vet unexpectedly. You know.
Absolutely, Booker. Or even those times when you need to grab a last-minute gift, or maybe you're a little short on rent, or hey, even you might want to pick up some new gear for yourself or your kids or your lady.
Folks, make Earn In part of your financial playbook. Join over 3.5 million customers who are finding financial stability and peace of mind thanks to Earn In.
So don't wait around for a payday. Get your money when you need it and take control of your finances. Download Earn In today and experience what it's like to access pay on your terms.
Get started with Earn In now and join the millions who are getting their pay their way. It's time to earn in, not just earn. Check it out, man. Boom. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, baby. Hey, guys, you got any comments? Make sure you guys send that super chat in. Do it now. I do it for you. We're getting ready to roll up out of here really quickly today. It's only going to be an hour show, but we're going to make sure we get to all of our super chatters no matter what. But I don't know, man. Talking about world championships. All right. Talking about world championships. CM Punk. All right. We were just talking about this a few weeks back. And we was talking about Jey Uso, who's going to be the guy. And I said, man, CM Punk came back to WWE to finish the story. All right. And I don't know why. I just really had a good feeling that CM Punk was going to be the guy that was going to cash in and win the world championship, just because of the work that he's put. How long has CM Punk been back in WWE now? 2 years?
Yeah, since November 23. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, it didn't happen overnight or anything like that. CM Punk, has put in like so much goodwill since coming back to WWE. And the thing is, people don't see a lot of the goodwill. They just see a lot of stuff that goes on television. You know what I mean? But I've gotten a chance to witness this CM Punk that has returned to WWE, and this is a different guy. This is a guy that understands that, man, life is short. Let's go out here and get this thing done, and let's get it done by any means necessary. And I'm not talking about winning the world title. That's the last thing I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So I appreciate what CM Punk has done in this run, since coming back. He's really done some really, really good work. I got to say that.
I think that he's going to be remembered more for this run, obviously, than for his AEW run, I think. And then also, maybe it's something about these guys coming back for the second go-around where they tend to have these generational runs. And I think that's what CM Punk's got to do with the world title. He's an old school guy, so he knows that world title with him as a babyface is meant to build up some young dastardly heel. So we'll see where it goes with that. But I love that Punk, it was the right guy. Jay actually got some criticism in that match on Saturday night's main event. People said that, I don't know, maybe he wasn't fully into it or whatever, but I actually kind of disagreed with that. I don't know if you got to watch the match book, but Jay, I thought he looked good in his loss.
I thought he looked good in his loss, but I mean, I think what people were talking about, it was a couple of spots missed in the
Sure.
match. You know,
Is every match perfect though?
yeah, I mean, every match is not perfect. You know, I think Jay could have came in a little better shape. You know, you could tell he's been eating a few some of Mama's cooking. A lot of you know what I mean. You know, that's one thing about the Samoans. They tend to get a little heavy, get a little heavier as they get a little older. You know what I mean? So that's something that he's gonna have to you know stay on point, stay with as far as the diet.
So you
You know,
thought he thought he could have presented himself better.
I'm not going to sit here and say, he looked like he was in the best shape of his life or anything like that. But one thing about being on the road, it's hard. It's hard to stay in shape and travel, and eat properly. Man, it's so freaking hard. And then go in the ring and perform, at a very, very high level. I don't know how many tours these guys been on and off. How many flights these guys been taking as of late as well. So it's so many different variables go into coming in on that night and going out there and being your best. It's so many variables. You know what I mean? So I get it, but on nights like that, you got to figure out how to suck it up and be your best. He did a hell of a job. In his loss, he was, he did a hell of a job, because my thing is, I always say your losses got to be better than your wins. And I thought he did a hell of I wouldn't necessarily say a job or anything like that. He did some hell of a work inside the ring with CM Punk.
Let me ask you, do you feel like his world title window is closed? Or is he now a solidified guy in that scene?
Jey Uso, I think he's solidified in that position, but he's going to have to work his ass off to get back to the world championship. That's what I'm talking about as far as being in shape. He can't rest on his laurels. He can't think that one world heavyweight championship is just going to be guaranteed for him to go back to that spot ever again. No, that's not the way it works. You know what I mean? That's why I say he's gonna have to put in some work. And that's just my humble personal opinion. And he know I love him more than anything. And he know I wouldn't be saying that if it wasn't true.
When you won your first world title, did you feel like you were solidified in the main event scene, or did you feel like, bro, I'm going to have to really show up and show out now?
I made a bold statement when I won the world championship, and WCW, they granted it. I said I was going to defend the championship on house shows, all television events, and pay-per-view. And I did it.
Sure, about 2.5 weeks in, you were like, oof.
I was like, what was I thinking? But no, I wanted to prove that I was going to be a different type of champion, because they had not been a champion like myself since Ron Simmons. Okay. So I said, I got to do something different. I got to go out and show how good of a performer I am in the ring with anybody they throw me in there with. And I knew early on I was going to be getting the victory. So I was willing to go out there and, throw me in the ring with anybody. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm going over. So it was a moment for me, and I had to make do just to prove that I was world heavyweight championship material. I did it a little bit different than Jay, but it was a different time also.
Yeah, no, definitely a different time. But to me, I mean, it's the same in boxing or MMA, really, right? I mean, if you win the title, it doesn't mean you're going to be there forever. If they put the title on you and you're the guy, it doesn't mean like, oh, now Booker's just going to win every world title for the rest of here to eternity. You still got to be able to show up and show out and perform at a very, very high level. You can't think it's just going to be given to you. I'm not saying that's what Jay thinks. I'm just saying in general.
No, there again, variables. So much go into putting yourself in that position, and some people can get in that position and think, well, they've made it. For me, I got in that position and I still didn't feel comfortable. I wasn't, sure, if it was real or, not, I mean, if it was live or if it was Memorex. I just didn't know, but I knew how good I was. That's the one thing I could only count on, that, was how good I was in the ring, and to go out and be able to perform. I was in my comfort zone, so for me, I just wanted to wrestle. And that right there put me in a position that, no storyline could have ever put me in back then. it was like, man, we got to write something for him, no matter what. You know what I mean? Because he can work. You know what I mean? He's that damn good. You know. So for me, like I say, it was totally different. Like I said, I was working in a wrestling company opposed to an entertainment company as well.
I want to. How much time do we have in this segment? I've lost count
Got
of
about
my
3
time.
minutes.
We have 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I want to highlight a comment from Big Breezo, and then I'm going to talk about something else in this next segment. But Big Breezo says, I compare Booker's commentary to the Weasel, and the Weasel, of course, is Bobby Heenan. I love them both. That's the first time I've seen somebody make that comparison of you and Bobby. What does that make you feel like?
You know what? Bobby had his own style. I got my own style. You know, I was reading a comment the other day. It was actually a video, and it said that I'm really not a big fan of Booker T's commentary on NXT. But if they took Booker T away from NXT, it would be a totally different show. And I go, okay, I'll take that. You know what I mean? So I think being able to do what I do is really, really cool. And for Sean and the team down there at NXT to let me do what I do, knowing Sean knows for me, it's never really about me. It's always about the talent and how much we can really put, you know, a spotlight on the talent by any means necessary. If I got to do something, it's the stupidest thing you ever seen to make you get eyes on the talent. I'm willing to do that. If I'm willing to make myself look a certain way to get who else is going to do something like that to make because the guy actually said because Booker T is the soundtrack for NXT, and I go, I've been saying that for the longest. That's what I do. You know what I mean? I am the soundtrack, you know, for these guys. You know, so for me, I'm loving every bit of, you know, being you know, in that commentary booth. NXT on a weekly basis. There again, this thing was only supposed to be for 3 months, and it's been over 3. It's been over 3 years, and it seems like I'm just now beginning to hit my stride. To be honest, seriously,
it's almost like that drum major in you from back at Jack Yates or wherever you were the drum major is still there because that's the rhythm. What the guy was saying with the soundtrack, it means you're the rhythm of the show. You know, you're the rhythm. You keep the show moving. And Vic does a phenomenal job at what he does.
I couldn't do what Vic does. There's no way I could do what Vic does. He's so phenomenal at what he does as far as being able to keep that show on track. It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing. And the thing is, he doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't miss a beat, man. You know, so for me, I'm in the best place I could be in, you know, working with Vic because Vic, I don't think I could do it without him, to be honest. I really don't. I don't think this would have been a really, really good 3 years for me if it wasn't for Big Joseph being that guy that's been guiding the ship. I always say, man, I'm like sitting in the passenger seat. I'm the navigator. I ain't driving nowhere. But Big does a great job at that. But we got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame, man. We'll be back in a minute. Oh yeah, man! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame. Just looking at that little promo there, the Money Birds was asked about just last week. So man, we might be putting something in the mix with the birds, man. The birds, the bird. The bird is the word. Oh yes, man. I'm just saying. You like that, huh? Bird.
Yeah, that's good.
But no, man, I know we're getting close to wrapping this thing up, but you got what you got before we want to get up out of here, man?
There's a couple things, but one, I want to talk about this comment from Ronda Rousey. Did you see you saw the Ronda stuff in the news? I think it was maybe late last week.
Could not miss it. I could not miss it. Or being the GOAT.
Well, no, she said that yes, and she also said that she said that MMA fans don't have reverence for their legends.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as you lose one fight, you're not S, you never were S. On to the next one.
That was a really bad take. Yeah.
That's a terrible take.
That was a really bad take from Ronda Rousey because I think the UFC guys get treated very, very well after the careers are over with. Some of them,
By the fans, yes.
I mean, yeah, by the fans. I mean, the majority of them. I mean, some of those guys, I mean, they got hit in the head so many times they lose their damn minds, like a BJ Penn and what he's going through right now, who's still a legend. I think people still love him. You know what I mean? I mean, but he's on an island on his own. But no, I mean, I think I don't know. Her comment, what she was talking about WWE legends, I mean, I don't know if she was watching any of the shows, how the legends got treated when they came back to WWE, back in the day. You know what I mean? It wasn't the greatest thing to come back to, what I mean, for a lot of guys, but
it's what made Big Show leave the company, right?
And Mark Henry as well. So no, now my thing is, Ronda Rousey is just, I don't know what her problem is. I don't know why she's so mad. She did a great thing for the sport. She really did.
Incredible.
She should embrace that. She should embrace, what she did and who she is and who she was. You know what I mean? Because she really, was great for the sport. But every sport evolve. Every sport get better. You know what I mean? I mean, the blueprint wasn't even really, drawn when Ronda Rousey first, came into the UFC and women fighters start actually fighting. It wasn't really any structure to it. It was like, you fight, this girl, you fight. It was, I mean, come on. I mean, but did she come in at the right time? Yes, man, she did some great things. But when I don't know. I don't know why she's so bitter. I don't know why she's so bitter. I mean, the wrestling world let her in, and I think the wrestling world embraced Ronda Rousey.
Embraced her.
And then she just took a big crap on professional wrestling immediately when she left. And then sometimes even when she was there, why? I don't know. You know what I mean? But some people, you're never going to, understand what their agenda is. You know what I mean? Some people, like a Ronda Rousey, you lose, it could turn everything upside down. Ronda Rousey was on top of the world, movie roles, commercials, whatever. And then, but there's, that same road that you travel up, you're going to travel back down that road, and you can make it as bumpy as you want. I think that's what Ronda Rousey's going through right now. She's just going down a bumpy road.
Well, to me, it's like, don't complain about answered prayers. You know what I mean? Like you're a legend in the UFC. You wanted to come into wrestling. Wrestling embraced you. The fans embraced you. And for some reason, there's a bitterness. And then she even like took a swing at Joe Rogan because she was on Burt Kreischer's show, and Kreischer was like, "Oh, he and her can fight." And he was like, "I'll have Rogan train me." And she said something like, "He wouldn't know what to do. He's not an expert. He's just a fan. Taekwondo isn't fighting."
Yeah. It's crazy, you know what I mean? And Joe Rogan was one of the biggest supporters at one time.
Like the biggest.
He was talking about she could beat Floyd Mayweather, stuff like that. That's what I remember.
I remember that.
But when she lost, I think Joe Rogan had an honest opinion as well, you know what I mean, about Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean?
He said kind of what you just said,
especially when she fought Amanda Nunes. I mean, it was a runaway freaking train, that just ran over. And then, the Holly Holm fight, Holly would just, bet her on her feet as a boxer, as a fighter, and I don't think that was a diss or anything like that. It was just the truth. And I think with a lot of people, man, sometimes the truth really hurt. That can make those kind of people feel like, the whole world is turning their back on them.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I hope Ronda doesn't get, some of the vets in the business. You saw some of the boys in the wrestling world. They can get real bitter as they get older, and I don't want Ronda.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want Ronda to get bitter.
Well, she's already there. She's already there, bro.
Any more than.
I don't know if it's how she can come back from this. I mean, I don't think the wrestling world is gonna embrace her ever again. I know she's in the gym training right now, and that's a good thing. Just for her mental state. Trying to just get back in there, and and I can still do this. But I think the fight game has passed her by. I think the wrestling world has passed her by. But that doesn't mean the world is going to forget about Ronda Rousey, and that's the point for me that I don't understand. Why is she trying to make the world turn against her? I don't know why. Because like I say, I think Ronda Rousey, anywhere she should show up, she should be praised. She should be.
Yeah, absolutely. To me,
and like I said, man, your losses could be better than your wins.
Yeah.
And I give Conor McGregor a lot of respect for the way he handled losing most of the times.
Most of the time, except for the final one with Poirier, right?
Yeah, the Poirier fight. Yeah, that's
where
the
you
one.
sitting there talking.
Well, but
your wife was in my DMs.
You could tell, he knew it was all over at that point.
Yeah.
So he would just like, man, I'm gonna just throw anything out there.
I'm gonna throw it out there.
I don't care. And you could tell that. You know what I mean?
But like when he lost to Nate, which was like the momentum stopper for him, he was like, he was the better man tonight. He went out there and fought a good fight. I'm looking forward to fighting him again. And that's what you're supposed to do. So I don't know what happened with Ronda. We got a couple super chats before we head up out of here, BT. First one comes from Mike Wootson.
Westside Gun.
What do you guys think of Westside Gun being ejected from the show? I know he made AEW songs for Hurt Business, but is it due to his songs about WWE guys? So I saw something like a little bit about this. I really don't know what happened.
I just got to say this before you get started. Click, click.
Bang, bang.
I just want to throw that out there before we even start talking about it. But I don't really even know what happened with Westside Gun. Westside said he was there at 8 o'clock, and at 8:03, they was telling him to bounce, get up, raise up out of here. Get up out of that seat. We got it, warm for somebody else. You know what I mean? But I don't know what happened. But I do know if I paid $5,000 for a ticket, I'm going to sit in that seat. I'm going to want a refund or something. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was. I really don't, because thing is, no one has really elaborated on it. He just said he got threw out. He didn't say why.
He put out like a post talking about how he was upset about it, but there was no exact reason that was given.
I mean, was he on the front row being rowdy? Was he doing something he wasn't supposed to?
He was there for 3 minutes. I don't know what he could do.
Well, okay. Did he show up at 8 o'clock at his seat? Because the show normally starts earlier than that.
He said the show Monday Night Raw show starts at 8 p.m. I was kicked out at 8:03 after spending $5,000 plus travel, hotel in my own city for absolutely nothing. No lie. The kid is heartbroken.
It's got to be more to the story before I even speak on it.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
Normally, you don't get thrown out for doing nothing. Because normally you're too quiet, unless somebody saw you and you did so. I don't know. I'm not going to speak on that until I find out a little bit more. It's got to be more to the story. It's got to be more to the story.
And I've talked to Westside a few times, and I've only had positive experiences. So I'd like to know the full story myself before we comment too much. Callie Toenail says Charlotte and Alexa run was a little too short. I wanted more with them, and I don't feel like they'll stay together now, but I'm excited to see Jade versus Charlotte soon. To me, yeah, Charlotte and Alexa lost the tag titles on Monday night to the Kabuki Warriors. Made perfect sense to me. I would have done the same thing. If you look at the SmackDown women's division, they need more singles talent. And when you have two of your biggest stars spending time in a tag team like Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, when you could really use them as opponents for Jade Cargill, that's what you're going to do. You're going to take the tag titles off of them, and you're going to start them in singles programs. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, you could look at it two different ways. I mean, Charlotte Flair never really have done anything like she's done as of late with Alexa Bliss. It's the first time that she's ever had a partner, a friend, or anything like that.
Yeah, and it's been entertaining.
And it totally gave her a different feel. It gave her a lighter feel. You know what I mean? It made her a little bit more likable. You know, so for me, I thought it was going good. But you know, to your point, I get that as well. I get that as well. Could the breakup have, you know, been a little bit different other than them just losing? Of course. So let's see how this thing play out. Let's do that. Let's just sit back and wait and see how this thing play out.
Sit back, relax, and wait. One more thing I want to get you to react to because she's one of your favorites. But it looks like we're going to get Stephanie Vaquer versus Nikki Bella for the world title. How do you think Stephanie's chances are against the now evil Nikki Bella?
What? How do I think her chances are? I think her chances are the same as they were yesterday and the day before. She's gonna go out there, like, you know, like with a biscuit, and just sop Nikki Bella up. That's what's gonna. It's gonna be like that, man. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer, she's too good right now. She's in the prime of her career. She's the best right now that she's ever gonna be, perhaps. You know what I mean, from an athletic standpoint. So my thing is, Nikki Bella, look here, she does some great things for this business. All right, Nikki Bella. I mean, in her day, she was the best. All right, I mean, no doubt, compared to anybody. Nikki Bella. But those days are far gone, man. Those days are past now. It's all about Stephanie La Primera, your champion, your El Gran Campeon. Oh, yes, man. So now I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, get your biscuit.
Sop her up with a biscuit. Sop. I don't even know. I never hear the word sop unless biscuit is connected to it. I don't even know if I know what sop means.
Yeah, you ever had a biscuit and some gravy?
Of course. I'm sopping the biscuit with gravy.
You put the gravy on the biscuit. You do the biscuit on the gravy, get it nice and moist. You sopping up the gravy juice into the biscuit. You feel me? And then you take the bite. You understand? So that's all it is.
I don't know if you know what you're doing or not sometimes, but it's funny either way. Oh, man. But I think we got to get the hell out of here. Woo.
All right,
Cameron said, "Hey man, I need a biscuit."
That's a biscuit, man. Get your biscuit, man. Hey man, want to thank everybody for sticking inside the Hall of Fame, man. Get your champagne, caviar dreams, all the heavy lifting, Brad. We appreciate it. Till next time, guys. Peace. We love you. We out.